I want to say a little bit about pornography, having watched these videos with men talking about um, pornography and the difference between physical intimacy and those two different kinds of the one being pornography, the other thing being love combined with sexuality. So, yeah, I have a family member who has downloaded a lot of pornography, and at the place he lived before, he would have porn images on the walls. He would have his computer open for these images to be exposed, so that I was not able to choose whether I wanted to see them or not. So I know that I didn't watch the videos, but I could see these images from the front pages of the videos and the pictures on the walls with women with dicks up their cunts uh, and women with ponytails and things like that. So I know that pornography is based on men feeling superior and women being inferior, and I know that the opposite obviously also exists, because I think there are men who have that kind of pornographic orientation. That is not what I refer to as sexual orientation, because I think it's something that does not have to do with love, that can be discussed. People think that love can be that you can have a loving relationship. Then when you enter the bedroom, you can hit each other and do awful stuff to each other, and then afterwards you can feel that you still love each other. I don't understand that kind of sexuality, and I know that it has been a psychiatric diagnosis being gay, and if I was to define what should be part of the psychiatric diagnoses, then I would say that something like sadomasochism should be that, because it does nothing good to any of the parts of the relationship. And if people don't love each other but want to hurt each other, or the other want to hurt them, then you can easily imagine how that would enter other parts of the relationship as well, for it to be an unhealthy relationship and easily becoming a violent relationship. I lived in a violent relationship, but it was not that kind of sexual relationship, but it was a sexual relationship with no feelings involved. I had feelings, but if the other part sees you as just an object of their sexual satisfaction, then it's not, it can't be mutual love, and then it's just also a bit pornographic, just getting your physical needs fulfilled without seeing the other person as a human being, a person, and as someone you love. But of course, people can discuss that and say, well, if they don't live in these relationships, how would that affect society? Would they go out and rape and kill people, or the sadistic parts of those kinds of relationships? I don't know. This family member who had all these porn images in the apartment, he doesn't have that anymore, and I appreciate it very much. He had a friend who would get, I don't know how people get access to that kind of pornography, but pornography where women are being strangulated while during sex. My brother would tell me about it, and my brother is the one with those porno images on the walls. And my brother would tell me about that friend, and I would ask, where did he get those videos from? They're very expensive, and very difficult to get access to. Uh, and my brother didn't understand it either, how you can think something like that is something that gives you pleasure. Um, and I think that is very, that you can get access to that kind of stuff on the internet and pay for it. And then what about pedophile material? I think that is possible as well. If you can get access to people being almost killed during sexual intercourse, and it's crazy. So to say when you just think pornography is ordinary pornography, then knowing that there are a lot of different kinds of pornography and some worse than others, then I can only agree on pornography ruining our societies, because if people watch too much of whatever kind of pornography and the very criminal kinds, like the friend of my brother did, then how would that affect your view on other people and society? Or is that a part of you already? And then, but having access to it and kind of legalizing those kind of actions through porn, how does that affect your relationship to the opposite sex and any kinds of situations in your life? And I know that these pornographic movies can sometimes, because when I was young, I had a friend who said to her mother, "I want to watch a porn movie. Can I do that?" Yeah, and she rented one, and I saw those porn movies with her, and I know that sometimes it can be ordinary situations from life where they implement pornography. So if people watch too much of that, then imagine that movie was about a tennis thing, that this woman was receiving tennis lessons, and then it just turned into a sexual thing. And so if people watch too much of that, then can they suddenly experience ordinary, everyday situations as something that could actually turn into porn? And can the other part that, can other people who don't watch porn sense those undertones in the conversations? I think that I have that feeling with people sometimes, that they put what you say into another context, and suddenly it feels like, am I part of a porn movie now? What is this? Are we going to rape me, or what's going to happen? Because when people don't understand ordinary emotions, and maybe a bit not ordinary emotions, because I've been in an accident, so I don't even understand myself, but then but don't feel anything when you cry. And I got the feeling yesterday when I was in such a situation with two men just looking at me with empty faces, no feeling of understanding my emotions or feeling sorry for me for crying, and just looking at me with cold eyes and faces. I got the feeling that in a minute they're going to take off all my clothes, throw me up the counter, and they're going to rape me, because it seemed like when you feel that the emotions are not there in those emotions that should be there, when you see a person who's sad, who's crying, who feels horrible, then it would be ordinary in my world to feel. They don't need to feel sorry for me, but to, what's wrong with you, can but maybe feel sorry. I think that would be a very normal reaction to, oh, I'm so sorry that you feel that way, but and then the situation would need some kind of action. The police was called because I got into a fight with two young girls, and the father of one of the girls had been in prison, and I didn't know that. I just, I thought I could get into a conversation with them, but it's not ordinary in Denmark to start getting into conversations with people about political subject when you don't know them. So I was just in a, so it was, and one of the girls said, "Go back into your hole," and people passing by, "She's crazy." And okay, so maybe I seemed crazy trying to talk to young people about children in Denmark, but I can see that I should not enter conversations with people I don't know, because they might not want to talk to me, and especially not outside a supermarket about political subjects. So I will not do that again. I have learned from my experiences. And I maybe have started the conversation in a very bad way. I did. So, but just feeling that those girls looked at me at some time where tears were running out my eyes, and I was very sad. And one of the girls was thinking, should I, like she almost felt something, and she was, because young girls, they don't know, should I do this or that, and should I feel this or that. Then they look at the adults, the older people, how should I feel about this? And but I could see some kind of empathy in one of the girls' eyes as I was crying, running in to pay for the flowers I ruined outside the shop. And but then she started talking to those adult guys with no emotional reaction to a person like me in sorrow, and me telling about having been in a car accident, no reaction to that at all whatsoever. So, and I felt that the guys convinced the girls not to feel anything for me, because they don't see me as a human being, but as maybe they put me into a sexual pornographic context, and that feels good for them, without any morality saying it's not good. That would, I would feel bad about myself if I saw a young boy, me being 48. Oh, I'm not young, but okay, me being 48, I was 10 years younger than those men, I think. Me being 48 and a guy 38 was running around, crying and, everything, spit running out the mouth because of the accident, and snot and crying, and I couldn't agree with young boys that we should not feel anything. It's not easy to understand, but it's easy to understand if you imagine people having watched porn, maybe during Corona, what else was there to do, and if people have a strong sexual drive, which seems like they do in Denmark, or pornographic drive, then if they put things into pornographic context, then everything seems different. Then the thought is not, should I comfort her, but the thought is, this girl seems like a handicapped girl. I feel like pulling her up the lifting her up, throwing her on the counter and just raping her and hitting her in the face, or strangling. Maybe he's a guy who has gotten access to that kind of pornography, and I can feel it. I can feel that people don't react in a normal way to normal emotional reactions to having been in a car accident where I don't remember anything, and blood was, when you put lotion on like that on my arms, both arms, from the tip of my fingers to the shoulder, uh, and that is, I think it's very problematic that pornography is not only when you get access to real pornography. It's in music videos, it's in lyrics, it's in even some kids' TV from Denmark. You sense the sexual, pornographic undertones. For example, there's two women who work in a laundry, and they, in the beginning of the program, at least 3 years ago, they had these socks and they were like putting them up the mouth and smelling them. This ugly smell of dirty socks was so nice. And so maybe, I don't know if there are any more movies like that, but some people have a dirty mind and like dirt, and my brother thinks cow shit smells good. So maybe that's something for daddy, that's something for the kids, who knows? These women being so nice and gentle with the laundry and washing it and being happy with just doing that. And that's kind of what it seems like men want in pornography. Women inferior and them superior, and women just being nothing at all. Or depending on what your orientation when it comes to pornography is. I don't know much about it except from the images I saw at my brother's house and that porn movie I saw with my friend when we were teenagers, and then what I've heard about my brother's friend. So, but there's a program, the sitcom in Denmark, where a former porno star, is that what they're called? My brother says they're stars. Where she, her eyes are like hard and cold, like she has been experiencing too much degrading stuff, and she looks like she's still in the same porn movie no matter what she's doing, and I felt sorry for her. But of course she got another career in the sitcom, that's a good thing. Is it possible to get to some kind of point that, I don't know, I don't even know if I'm right, but it seems like it, because I think pornography, what characterizes it is that the emotions are not there and women are being treated badly, or men, or both, or whatever, and the emotions put aside, and that's how I feel society is evolving, or de-evolving, and then it seems like we could easily go back in time, go back to, okay, then at the end we'll just be like those cavemen, and we will say we don't need morality and we don't need to be good to other people. We just rape people when they walk down the streets, and we won't help each other if we're sick, and or maybe just some people can get excluded and we'll just walk around and rape and but if we imagine everyone just being, I'm just me and I don't need any of you and I don't want to help you, then the human race will get extinct, and well, maybe that's the best.